in January, if we're not quite certain.
Okay.
He was picked up in King George, and he doesn't like gunfire, which makes him really bad with shooting, so I think that's part of the reason he didn't get picked up.
Other option would be to run.
Yeah, I can't go through that. So what were some of the behaviors that you're looking into?
When he's off leash at home, he will bark anytime he thinks he hears me or hears me and go off. Doesn't come. Rather obstinate.
Okay.
Just very neurotic in a way. Like, everything is terrifying. Like, he will actively run from me or bark at me, but won't get near me with even leash length.
That seemed fine. Do you have any allergies?
None that we found. How's that?
Here's some salmon boots for you.
Yeah. What, you know what?
Just thinking about it.
Oh, he always thinks about it. He has to build up, like, energy to actually try to take anything. I mean, heck, if we're handing out dog biscuits at home, the other two will just sit there and happily take them. He has to dance and bark and go back and forth for like 5-10 minutes before he decides to actually come in and take one out of my hand.
Okay.
If he does.
Go ahead and put it on the floor, see if that helps, and then walk away. He's not interested.
Yep. Go on.
He did come the other day to Gordon, when Gordon set out whipped cream.
No, too anxious of the area. That's why he's not interested.
Yeah. You want the medic?
Oh, no, it's okay.
Okay. It was like green, wild onions.
Yeah, let's walk out this way.
Okay. But yeah, if I walk down the stairs, he goes off.
Okay.
If he thinks he hears me, or he goes off, stuff like that. Slow down.
Since it's early in the morning, could it just be the fact that you startle him from his sleep, and then there's somebody walking around that he doesn't know?
Oh, heavens no.
No, it's in the afternoon. It's any time. Now he's doing it to mom too.
Oh yeah. He usually is the first one out of the three of them.
Okay.
And he has very much attachment issues.
That's understandable. So the good thing is, if he's doing it with other people and during the day, all you'd have to do is to try to recreate the scenario. Like if he was in the living room, you guys were watching TV, and you get up to go to the kitchen and she starts barking, go ahead and calm her down, and then do it again. Sit back down, have her looking at you, and then when you get up and walk through the kitchen, she doesn't bark, give her praise. Same thing whenever you're doing
when he's
anything.
outside loose.
Yes.
And then you have no control over him because he is outside loose.
That's fine. So you just control yourself. You go in and out of the house.
Oh,
You
yeah,
go
that's what I do.
outside, they bark, you calm them down, and then when they come back, and then go back inside. When you go back
He doesn't
outside.
calm down, he runs off.
Yes.
Okay. So then you'll have to have them on a leash. So that way you can practice the exercise.
Okay, in the house, no, he shelters in place.
That's understandable.
Like,
Under our bed, behind the chairs. No, went to sleep I did, yeah.
And at home is completely different, isn't it?
well, he's always different on a leash.
Yeah, but out of all of us here, he gravitated to you.
Mm-hmm.
We've been having Gordon give him whipped cream as a treat,
There you go.
and only Gordon, so trying to develop something positive there.
Yeah.
You can spread that all around though. You'd want them to look forward to treats from everybody equally eventually. And it's
Oh.
only if they have a deficit towards one person you would vocalize it. Hi.
Hi, is it here blue tea cone? No, waiter.
No, you want to see that we have a tree box too.
Yeah? Oh, that's cool.
100 pounds.
Oh, I didn't know coon can be that big.
They're not supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
Now see, he will crawl up in my husband's lap, and
Attempt to share food.
yeah, attempt to take food off of our plate.
No, she's already fully grown.
How old is she?
3,
Okay.
3 years old.
She's small.
Just give them something to do during dinner time, especially in a separated area, so that way they can't beg or try to jump up on the table and take your things.
Yeah.
They can't take your things if they're in the middle of their own bone across the room on a comfortable bed.
But he has comfortable beds. He had a bone, and we finally threw it out after 6 months when he didn't play with it at all, didn't chew on it, nothing.
Then you want to try to find something that he will enjoy.
Yeah.
You know, that's the key. Like we can give each other things, but unless we actually need it, then it doesn't hold any value. But it might have costed money. You know, it might have worked for one person, but it might not work for another person, just depending on what they like and what they don't like.
Yeah, he prefers things that are soft. He doesn't like things that are hard.
There you go. So maybe like a peanut butter filled Kong or something like that.
And everybody got a
Choose.
peanut butter jar left.
There you go. The main general rule you'll want to try to keep in mind is instead of concentrating and getting him to stop doing things, concentrate on what he should be doing instead, or giving him something else to do. He's very nose oriented, even though he's very anxious of being around with the drooling and the body language and the uncertainty, going back to comfortable, comfort zones of his. So even keeping in mind like situations like this, giving him different amounts of exposure, see how he's doing, so that way you can actually get him used to things as opposed to overwhelming him with things. And I told Kay as well with the gunshots, you know, you can fix that just through exposure, but you just have to start gentle.
Yeah, he doesn't mind. We're down the valley from the shooting range, so he hears them in the distance all the
Boy.
time. That doesn't bother him. It's the neighbor with the 9mm in the backyard shooting.
And so since it's closer, it's louder and also has a deeper bass.
Yeah.
And so what I would do is get him used to louder sounds.
Yeah,
I
he's-
recommended to Kay, you can play YouTube gunshots, have a subwoofer, slowly crank it up until he gets to the point where he's just like the gun range down low, but with louder, more sudden noises too. Even at home, you can get him used to it that way on your own terms. You don't have to wait to try to calm him down when your neighbor's shooting.
Yeah,
You want to try to take scenarios that are out of your control and find a way that you can control the scenario, and then that way you could adjust the variables.
So he's probably going to need to stay in the house more too, so you have more control over him to be able to do some exercises instead of, trying to chase him down outside or waiting for him.
a seltzer, and he hit the floor with all 4 legs out. And now he ignores it for the most part.
Yep, but heavy thunder.
He's full body
Got
slam
the
against
bag.
the door.
Right. Rain sounds on YouTube, thunder sounds, lightning.
Oh, he hates when the guys get mad at him.
The main thing is you want to start by desensitizing him to it,
Okay.
having him on that low volume, and then gradually building it. And then after he's desensitized to it, then you have the opportunity to reconnect a better meaning towards the sound, right? Like a good idea that we use well with some pups at home is, especially since people knock on the doorbell gets rang a lot. Whenever they hear the doorbell, they don't go to the door, they go to the kitchen, because that's where they know I'll give them a treat. And we've just reconditioned that behavior. There's no reason to go and bark at the door. They know that if they come over to the kitchen and sit down and wait, it's their turn for the treat. The sound has been disassociated with somebody coming to the door and reassociated with coming over to the kitchen for a treat. And you can get there just doing the same process. So instead of, once you see that he's comfortable with some gunshots and you turn up the music or the TV or whatever a little bit louder, he recognizes it, he looks startled or something, and then you offer him a high value treat
Okay.
or some playtime or something. And that's how you start building that reconnect. It's like, oh, okay, well, that happened and it scared me, but right afterwards I got to do this,
Okay.
you know, or I got this, something like that.
We would love for him to be engaged in play. He plays with our dogs,
That's good.
but you know, he's not ball oriented. He's not toy oriented.
Barely food oriented.
Mhm.
Like he'll actually take his time and try to decide whether or not he actually wants anything.
Right.
I wonder if he would go for a flirt pole. You say he likes to chase.
Yeah, I have one in my bag.
What is that?
Chase
It's in my bag if you want to get it out. Here, hold on.
Different.
It's kind of like, you can make them yourself, kind of like a horse whip, and then you put, more like a toy that cats would play with.
Right, right.
You can put anything on it, but it's like for driving pups. If you're gonna do working, then you just get them used to
Here you go.
chasing. You could put little feathers or something on it, but it's just something for them to chase.
Okay.
Or if they,
I don't know if he's gonna pay any attention to it here.
that's fine.
We can't throw it out.
We'll go this way. It's okay. This way.
He'll hit the ground as soon as I throw it.
No, you're just moving it. You're not throwing it.
I know that, but you know.
So especially with how nervous this pup is,
Oh yeah.
I would give him time to investigate and smell and everything to stick in the toy before playing with him, because the movement can startle him too, and it might take him longer to get re-engaged with it. So I'll just get him used to
Okay.
the flirt pole first, and then once he seems like it doesn't, you know, cause him any kind of agitation or fear, then start moving it around a little bit.
Okay.
A lot of times, especially with pups as nervous as this one, it's not that they don't like the toy or the ball, it's just not familiar enough with it for them to want to engage with it. You know, they're still on the apprehensive side. So then we give up, we thinking that they're not interested, whereas they just need a little bit more time to get used to something. It seems like it'll probably be a reoccurring theme with him overall just because of his temperament. We just need more time and exposure to get him used to things.
We were working with him. I'd give him a ball and he would take it over and give it to Mark, and then he'd get a treat.
Perfect.
Right.
So he probably has a good positive association with the ball.
No, I wish you did.
Well, it'll probably take several more months.
More positive association with this one.
Yeah.
And like I
He's
said,
got a positive. He loves Mark. He jumped up in his lap in the recliner
that's good.
almost immediately, and none of our dogs normally do that.
Yeah, within like what, 2
saw
weeks?
Ross.
And we did go to a new vet, and they don't have the tables that raise up, and he was really, really comfortable there. We took all 4 critters
No,
at
no,
once.
you're slobbering still.
Yeah, well, it's stress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. My car shows stress.
Because they're nose oriented too, like smell games can be fun. Like getting the right, like solo cups, having a treat, trailing it, putting it underneath one of the cups, having him knock it over for a
Okay,
treat,
that
and then
works.
add another cup, and then hide things, things like that. Because
He loves
the
to
few,
track.
the few times that he hasn't been uncertain of something or seems wary is when his nose is to the ground.
Yeah, he loves to track. He tracked our other two dogs when they got lost in a 2,500 acre park.
Oh, that'll be good to give him a job, and that'll be something fun and engaging.
Okay.
And like I said, because we can't really evaluate him barking at you guys randomly, take the randomly part out of the equation. By repeating that same moment as best as you can. Just like if you get up or you're coming in from outside from your car and they start barking, go up to them, calm them down, go back to your car, come back out of the car, come back. If you're in the house, you come outside and they're barking, calm them down, go back in the house, go back out the house.
So it's gonna
Usually
be at
only
least a two-person job because he's going to have to be on leash when he pulls up from
Right.
work or school or
Oh, okay.
something.
yeah,
so
just
he
have
can't
them
run
call
away.
so that way you know ahead of time.
Yeah, just call me and let me know.
Okay, gotta say, because like calming him down, yeah.
Sometimes people calm down pups too in different ways. Especially with puppies and anxious pups, it's usually best to, instead of stifling and trying to stop all that energy, to either redirect it, either with the ball, playing some fetch, game of chase, or some follow me, or something that engages with you. But now it's, instead of taking their focus on what was going on and what was maybe making them anxious in the first place, they're now focused on following you, playing with the ball, anything else. So I said the main thing is to try to recreate the moments and then make them in your favor, and then just practice because like usually by like the third or fourth or fifth time, they'll stop barking less. You go in and out of your car, maybe even the second time. It's like, oh, okay, I see this guy again. Go down the street, come back in, get out of the car. Does he bark? If he doesn't, great, give him a treat. Same thing, you kind of test your limits and rewind and fast forward and repeat as often as you need, because what ends up happening is during those one moments, maybe in like the middle of the night or early in the morning, you don't really have time to practice.
Right.
So you really have to try to make time to practice, even if it is just, waking up another 10, 15, 20 minutes earlier and practice leaving, do it 5 or 10 times and then leave, that kind of deal. Usually it doesn't take too long though. You have any other questions or concerns or things you wanted me to check out?
How do you... It took two of us to get him here today because he wouldn't come.
Normally,
And he was dancing away, running around, doing everything he could, but he was not at all interested in coming close enough that we could actually get a leash on him.
Sometimes it's because they're too interested in what they're doing at the moment.
he wasn't doing a damn thing.
He just wanted to be outside.
Just wanted to run around.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
all.
it might also because he saw me.
He got 5 acres. He's got a little something going on.
And he loves the 5 acres.
So
So just make it, you'd have to just
he was
make it,
just- come on, Rock, let's go. As soon as you say that, damn it, you little fart.
here, I'll show you an exercise that I do for recall that'll help.
Okay.
Mind taking the camera?
Might be too scared anyways.
Might be, maybe not.
Let's try it without the board first.
Yes.
So, let's have you just like ask him to sit and wait, or just wait.
Okay.
He doesn't know wait.
That's fine. We'll
Okay.
teach it.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
sit.
Tell him to sit.
Okay. I was like, who? Rocky. Sit.
Good.
Good boy.
Now ask him to wait.
Stay.
No,
Now
wait.
take
Wait.
either one. Either one.
Yeah.
Whatever is more natural for you. Take
Stay.
a couple steps back.
Stay.
So when they pop up like that, that's your time to teach them. So stay means to stay in that spot and not move until the release.
Stay.
We have to get to the release part. So one more time, and then just
Stay.
wait right there. Now release.
Okay.
Perfect.
Good.
It's the release part that a lot of people miss.
Okay.
A lot of times we concentrate too much on the stay and we don't give the dog something to do. the dog starts looking around, they start wandering, they get bored, they stop staying. They want to move towards you. But the objective here is to have them fixate on that release command.
Okay.
So that way they have something to do.
They're
Get a
waiting
look
for
at
that.
it. Exactly. And that's usually the key. So the way that I attach this to recall is I'll have them stay out there and then I'll have them come back to me.
Okay.
So instead of pulling them into you from the yard, you're doing the opposite. You're getting their attention and you're releasing them to come back to you. It's almost like coiling up a spring through practice and then just releasing, just like what you did here. It was really easy for him to come to you at that point, right? So one more time, ask him to stay.
Rocky. Hi. Stay. Sit first.
Okay.
Stay.
Now take a couple steps back, and whoever your partner is, see,
Nope.
my job is to help correct by making sure they don't move too much.
Okay.
But I'm not
Stay.
gonna be holding him there the whole time, right? That's
Stay.
just like when they move, perfect.
Oh,
Almost.
good boy.
He needed to come to you.
Yeah.
You didn't need to go to him.
That's okay. That was good. We'll do it one more time and then we can see how much distance we can get. So whenever he moves preemptively, you just ask him to stay. Your partner, who will have the leash, will help to physically correct if need be. But your goal is to have it so he's doing it on his own. You're not just holding him back the whole time. All right.
Stay. Okay.
Perfect. Just like that.
Oh, good boy.
Then you do that longer distances.
Okay.
So 3Ds, distance, duration, how long he can stay still no matter how far away you are, and then distractions. Throw a ball, does he move? Reinforce the stay. Squeak a toy, does he move? You get distracted, reinforce the stay. Once you develop those things, recall will be a lot easier because it's the same motion but just reversed.
Okay. That makes sense.
And you can definitely do it, but like I said, it's always harder the more distance that you have because the less pull that you have. So if you have difficulties on like a 50-foot leash, tie it down to 25, go from there for a bit. You know, once it gets better, maybe untie it again back to 50 and try from there. You slowly increase the distance, the duration, or the distractions as they get better at listening and executing and learning the commands in the first place.
Okay.
Because if you're trying to call him right now from like the baseball field, he definitely doesn't have the skill for that. But we can see how long he has the skill for here. Try it to see how far you can get.
Do you have a long line you want me to get?
Oh no, I'll just walk with him. So we'll just have him sit and stay one more time.
Rocky. Sit.
Now
Stay.
everybody go with him, but go slow. Stay.
No.
Because
Sit.
he's going to want to pop up. And this is going to be harder
Stay.
too. There you go. It's okay.
Stay.
Good. See? And that's where your partner will come in to help out.
Yeah.
Now slowly move back one step at a time and reinforce the stay as necessary.
Good boy. Stay.
Nope.
Stay.
Nope.
Back up.
It's okay. Just keep reinforcing.
Sit.